So this is our Alfa Romeo Giulia. This is not a paid ad whatsoever. I rented this thing from Hertz, so this is just my total opinion of what it's been like to have the Giulia. The car does not look clean and beautiful because I've been driving it around Italy and I've put on about 2,500 kilometers on this thing, which I think is about 1,500 miles if my math is serving me correctly. So what do I like and what do I hate about the car? Well, there's a lot to like about the car and a few things to hate, but one of those things is pretty major. So let's go into the car and I will show you. A common observation or complaint with this car is that this jamb is too far forward and in the way of the seat. I have not found that to be the case at all. This car has been really easy to get in and out of, and I've gotten in and out of it many times. That being said, everything is placed out really nicely, from the center console, the steering wheel, the height of the seat. All the knobs are pretty much in the right place, with the exception of one, and that is the windows over here. Maybe it's just my arms, but every time I come to a toll booth and I go to roll down the window, I end up rolling down the back window instead of the front window. It feels like these switches are just too far forward and it just doesn't feel right. But I guess if you have shorter arms, it's probably no big deal. The second issue with this car is this center console right here. Hertz has applied this sticker saying you're not allowed to suction cup anything to this, which makes me think that if I did suction cup to this, it would fall off and it isn't strong enough. Now, maybe Hertz just doesn't want you to do it, but if Alfa Romeo didn't design this to hold suction cups, really a missed engineering mistake, because people are going to suction cup things to this. Bringing me to probably the biggest problem with this car, and that is the navigation system. One, this whole thing is huge, yet this screen is actually pretty small. It's only this big. You could have taken up all the room here. But two is the nav system in this car is absolutely terrible. It is hard to find things, hard to find points of interest. It'll get you to the city center of places, and then you've got to try and figure out where you want to go. Now, maybe this is because I simply don't understand Italy's address system and how it works to get the addresses in correctly. But there are places like the Tower of Pisa that this thing couldn't find as far as points of interest. It's just, there's nothing listed. There's nothing that comes up under the points of interest. And there is no way to change where the points of interest are searching, so it's kind of useless. Next, the driver's side visor. Look how small this thing is. It's also made of vinyl. This isn't leather like the seats are. When you move it over to this side, it does not expand out to cover the entire window. So that's really weird, and there's no mirror, which is strange for a luxury car of this sort. But all that being said, it is a super fun car to drive. I mean, just look how fantastic this thing is to drive. Super smooth, it takes turns really tightly, it has different modes. This particular one is an automatic, it is not a stick, and it doesn't have paddle shifting on the steering wheel. But that's okay, cruising Italy in an automatic has been super nice. And like I say, it is very comfortable to drive. Oh, one other side note, the cruise control. When you're using the cruise control and you drop like 10 kilometers, it's not a smooth drop. It's like the thing sort of jerks down, and that's a little weird. But other than that, it's a great car. I would highly recommend the purchase of this vehicle. Just use Google Maps instead of the nav that's in here.